Hello and welcome. I am Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I have a really fun project to share with you. I'm creating a few cards that have a puzzle theme. I'll be stamping and using dies from the new Love You to Pieces bundle, which is 10% off in my online store. Puzzle Pieces Thinlits die allows me to create a 3.5-inch square of puzzle pieces that are going to fit perfectly into one another. I'm using the Petal Promenade Designer Series paper, and I'm adding the embossing for my sentiment straight onto the paper. I'm using silver embossing powder because I hope it will stand out nicely against the roses of the paper. When I heat embossed it, I made sure that the heat tool was really hot so that it doesn't warp my paper. Excuse the cuckoo clock in the background. Once I have heat set this piece, then I'm adding lots of snail adhesive to be able to make sure that all the little pieces that get cut out are going to stick to the white cardstock. This is to give it a little stability, because this is going to be able for someone to put together when they receive in the mail. As you can see, this is a really big piece of die. It cuts out 4 by 4, so that would be 16 pieces that are puzzle pieces, and I went through the Big Shot 2 times. 2 passes will make a very clean cut on all these pieces and they will pop right out. I found that one piece, once it's already adhered to a backing of cardstock, will keep them still together, and we'll get to that. That's an asset we need in a little bit. I want to create a shadow of this die, so I added just a little bit of gray ink. I used gray granite, and I inked directly onto the die that I'm going to just press it into a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm not looking for a clear stamped image. I just want the idea of where the puzzle pieces are going to go so that the recipient of the card kind of gets an idea of what this little extra special project is all about. So I'm going to add that white panel to another panel that is 1/8 of an inch larger so that it kind of stands out. This is going to be mounted onto a square card base that's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I'll add Stampin' Dimensionals to raise it up nicely. So as you can see, the panel that I did the impression with the gray ink is not going to be seen once the puzzle's put together. I chose to put my sentiment right smack in the middle because whenever it's put together, then you'll see the message. But when it's not put together, then it's a mystery as to what the card is trying to tell someone, which I thought was another really fun element to this project. So I'm going to glue a few pieces in place so that I don't have to spell it out in words that are quite so plain. When the recipient receives the card, they'll see the extra pieces that are inside tucked away in a clear envelope and know that they can put them together on the front of the card. So it's like a hidden mystery, and I think people that like puzzles also prefer a little bit of a mystery too. So I created another version of this card as well. As I mentioned before, one pass through the Big Shot it'll die cut, but it won't, because I'm using 2 layers of 1 layer of DSP and 1 layer of cardstock, then it won't fall apart. It will stay together. And I've added that down directly to a card in the same manner, to the same color card base. You can see it here. And you can see those little pieces did not quite come apart. Perfect. So I'm going to add a dot of glue to each little piece so that it doesn't come off of the card. This version of the card is maybe for somebody that would not want to put together the puzzle but likes the look of a puzzle. So I like the idea that there's two different ways it can go together. And then I'll adhere this directly down to the Blushing Bride panel because I want it to be very stable, and I'm going to add a sentiment, some washi tape, a little button, and some laser cut flowers from Delightfully Detailed. So here is the finished version of both of the cards, and this one on the right hand side is quite more jazzed up than the first version. And this is the first version here with the puzzle pieces inside of a clear envelope. And yes, Stampin' Up! Sells the clear envelopes. They are available in my online store. This was such a fun project to share with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see your comments, and I really hope that you like this type of project. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm supposed to mention by request that yes, any purchase in my online store earns you the 12-pack tutorial. Every single month it's different. If you have any questions about that, just leave me a comment in the video description and I'll be glad to take care of it for you. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.